Today we are going to look at the LinkedIn search group or post URLs field right here. So the way this works, if you guys have not used this yet, is that you're going to take the URL from the source and paste it in. That's how a portion of these work in the first place. So we're going to jump over to LinkedIn and we'll start with a LinkedIn search. This doesn't require any fancy software. It doesn't require a Sales Navigator's account or anything like that. Just a freemium LinkedIn account. So let's jump in here and we are going to search for cold email marketing. And let's see what comes up. We've got a list of people here involved in cold email marketing. That's cool. Let's go to see all people results. I'm going to scroll through this here. And this is great. This is a group of people who are lead generation experts, email marketing experts. If I wanted to network and reach out with these people and try and, drum up a partnership or sell into these communities in one way or another, this would be a great place for me to start. And actually, I know who Andrew is, so I'm going to go ahead and connect with him right now. I'll send that over. And let's take this URL and bring it back into Coldlytics. So we're going to paste this in and hit enter. So at this stage, what happens is you've told the team at Coldlytics, we want data from this source. You provided a source to get the data from. And if we scroll back up here where you've already scrolled past this at this point, you will have entered what you're looking for. So you may have already specified that you want people who are specifically in the United States and Canada, for example. And you may only want owners and directors as a seniority level. If you had specific job titles, you could enter those too, of course. So now what this will do is this tells the team at Coldlytics, hey, I want to talk to people from this list, but not everybody. Not everybody on this list is a perfect fit for me, right? I don't speak, I think that's Russian, I don't speak Russian. I don't know how to communicate with that person, so I obviously don't want to reach out to them. So let's come back here and make sure that you're only reaching out to people in your local areas. And you know that also these people could be marketing experts, but they might actually just be entry-level employees that don't have any decision-making for your agency or whatever the context is. So within that, you want to make sure that you're not wasting time sending emails to irrelevant people for a couple of reasons. One, those people are more likely to report your emails as spam. And two, you don't want to waste time and have to go through more contacts than necessary or use more of your credits than necessary. So just make sure that you're doing a good job being really clear in what you're looking for without narrowing yourself so much that you can't get any effective results back. So in essence, this is a very brief summary of how to use the optional signal of LinkedIn search. Now, from here, we're going to pivot over to group. And group is very similar. Let's jump back here. Instead of people, let's go to groups. And let's see what's going on in the cold email marketing world. All right, so there's a super small group. It's got one member in it. Let's see if there's anything interesting. Growth Marketing Conference. There's nothing really cool going on in LinkedIn groups for cold email marketing as far as I can see here, but we could just take this example. Let's say you were looking for people who market security services. Great, this is a group of 2,000 people. You would then take this and copy the link at the top of the page. It has to be the group /. That's the code for the group here on LinkedIn. That tells us what specific group it is. If you search for security marketing group, let's see what we get. Sometimes it'll pop up, it didn't do it this time. Sometimes it'll pop up with a snippet of a group and it makes it look like you're on that group's page, but actually all that it is a search result page, right? So we are going to click on this group, and again, it's a very similar size group, and just copy that URL and bring that back over. And here's something that you may not know about Coldlytics. You can paste multiple URLs into that field. So there we go. Now we're looking for, what did we say up here? People in Canada and the US that are owners and founders and directors and executives that are either on that search results page or they're within these groups. Now, I'm a pretty organized person when it comes to my lead generation, so I really like to segregate everything that I do so I can track my conversions very closely and figure out what the cost per acquisition was on each of those end users or whatever it may be. So for you, you may actually just want to limit it to one. You may want to say, hey, in this search, we're going to look for a group and launch that task, and then do a whole separate task for the post URLs, for example, or a group. And with that, let's transition over to post URLs next. So I'll delete that one out. And this is one of my favorite strategies. You may have heard me talk about this before, but this is really cool. This is where I got the most success I've ever had in cold email marketing. And it was from a search that led me to a whole network of people that I found that were really my ideal customers. And when I was able to pull that list of ideal customers and reach out to them, it was different than it was before, because you're thinking, yeah, that's what we do every day. That's what Coldlytics does. Well, this approach gives you a much more personal angle to come to. And it's not very scalable, but it does work very effectively if you've got a good pitch and you've just been a nice person in your approach, really. It's kind of what it comes down to. So let's jump in and search for cold email. And in this case, I'm going to be looking for posts. So we'll jump over here. All right, let's see what we have. So, free webinar. What's this about? Get more results from cold outreach. Awesome. I should connect with this guy. What is he doing? How much engagement does this have? Not a ton, it doesn't look like. Yeah, that's it. So we'll keep going. Let's see if we can find something a little bit bigger. So what we're looking for right now is a post that's got a whole lot of engagement on it. And when I say a lot of engagement, I mean something that has more engagement typically than what the actual result is that you're trying to get into a list. So if I'm looking for, I've set mine to 300. If I'm looking for 300, then I need a really big post. Now, there are pretty big posts about this stuff out there, but I've already done this. So they don't show up once you've clicked and viewed them. But here's what you would do. Let's say these 23 people were pretty interesting to you and these two commenters. We could say, all right, let's look at this content for a second. Underutilized cold email hack. Cool. Immediately, I don't even really need to read more than this. I will, because I want to be authentic. I'll try and connect with this person, which I already have, like and comment on the post. That way I'm present in that post. So now that we've decided that we like this post, we've engaged with this post, we're going to come up to the three dots in the top right corner and click that, and then come over to copy link to post. So if you copy that and paste it up in your browser, you'll see it takes you to that specific post in its own window. And what that does is it isolates this specific post from the search results screen, which is what we have here. This is just a search results page, and we want that specific post. So back over to Coldlytics. Let's go ahead and paste that URL. Now, to give you the context of how I best used this to really get more results than it ever had in the past, and not just more results, but more positive responses and fewer negative responses than I'd ever seen to date. I think my open rate was 86% and my positive reply rate was in the 30 to 40 range. It was really unheard of. At least in my experience, it was really, really satisfying to see. So what did I do with this? And this goes beyond the kind of training for just how to use this. This is kind of a tidbit that you can take away and use for yourself. But what I did was I took the link to this post, got the information from Coldlytics, took that list and put it into, I think I was using smartreach.io at the time, or you might put it in high level, or whatever it is that you're using, and emailed all the post commenters. And in that post, or rather in that email, I said, hey, Bob, you and I both commented on Victor Ito's post regarding underutilized cold email hacks back in, and then put the date of whenever this was, about a month ago, over the last month. Wanted to reach out, as we're both clearly involved in the cold email space. Maybe you and I have some value that we can exchange. I run a business in this space. Would love to chat with you about that if you're interested. Most people came back with something like, wow, really cool cold email. Normally I don't open these, but this was really interesting. And just really positive engagement that said, wow, this is a real person who's really trying to network with me in a place that I'm not used to people just being authentic. And that's really what it comes down to, is being authentic in that cold email. And this is a great way to just find your people, find that community, and really be one with them in a way that they can actually draw their finger to. They might reply back, hey, what was the post? Or what did I say in the comments? you can then go back and say, hey, it's right here. You can send it to them. Maybe we should get on a call sometime. And that is such a warmer entry point than, hey, I found you because I think you're the right person to buy for me, right? Nobody wants to do an interaction like that. Nobody wants to be cold approached with a sale. So if you can come at somebody and say, hey man, we're both doing the same thing, we're in the same place, working towards some of the same goals, suddenly you are aligned with that person on a bigger kind of life thing that they're working through in their career right now. And you are way more likely to get traction by doing something like that. So I hope this has been valuable. This has been a very brief lesson on how to utilize the LinkedIn search group or post URLs input field in Coldlytics.